keep it going with the Burks conversation. We were talking about your colleague Scotty writing that piece, and with what Tommy just asked me, I'll ask the same to you. What does Treylon Burks have to do the rest of the way, assuming he's gone after this year, to surpass Greg Childs and Jarius Wright, in your opinion?
Well, he's already I think he's already ahead of them in one department, and that's the spectacular catch. Some one-handed catches, the toe tap catches he's had, but he can't beat him in receiving yardage. And Jarius Wright was a more polished, and I think he was more dedicated to the game earlier. There was a couple times during Treylon Burks' career where you'll remember Sam Pittman said, how important is the game to him? You don't get in shape in the summer by going out and killing hogs. And so, and in game one this year, you could just see something was missing. He had not practiced a whole lot. But look, he is a fantastic Razorback. And Wright and Childs, they had each other. They had a supporting cast. They had Joe Adams. They had DJ Williams.
Good point.
And Treylon Burks has been almost not a one-man show, but he has been the guy teams have to key on, and he's still made some spectacular plays, and what a great Razorback he's been.
And no disrespect to K.J. Jefferson, but they had better passing quarterbacks. Yep. K.J. Jefferson is a great runner and better runner than Wilson and Mallett, but he is not the passer those two were either.
Yeah, exactly. Two different eras, two different quarterback sets, two different groups of teammates. And let's say Treylon Burks was here next year, then he might be able to challenge some of the yardage totals. But he's just been a good kid to have. And every time we talk to him, it's not about what his numbers look like or whether he's going to make All-American or anything like that. It's winning games. And we haven't talked to him in a few weeks, but I'm sure that he's a little bit frustrated that they didn't pull out the Ole Miss game and they didn't beat Auburn. So, but it's the Warren connection is unbelievable with the fact that Wright and Childs and Treylon Burks all played at Warren High School.
Looking at the record books and the media guide right now, there's only been 3 Razorbacks to ever have a single season with more than 1,000 receiving yards. That was Anthony Lucas with 1,004 in 1998, Jarius Wright in 2011 with 1,117, and Kobe Hamilton had 1,335, and is the all-time single-season receiving yards record from 2012. I think this week goes a long ways to determining if he can join that list because he's got the non-con game this week. Maybe you can pad that up where it makes it really more of a layup the last 4 weeks of the season, Tom, against tougher competition. I think it's a big week for stats for some of these guys to get into some of these rare groups.
It really is, and I think they're going to try to get some running game stuff going this week too. It sounds to me like running Dominic Johnson a little more, but I don't think Treylon Burks will be worried about that. I think he'll be in the group of guys who, if they get the kind of lead that we think that they could, that might not be playing a lot in the second half.
Tom, you mentioned what could be a pretty open, wide second half lead. How much can you actually take away this game when Arkansas is favored by so many points against an FCS opponent?
Just showing improvement, not looking like we're a team that lost our last 3 and we're a little bit down. I mean, I think there's some dinged up guys who probably are going to get minimal playing time. I mean, think about Trey Knox. Why would you need to play him? Utsey's not going to be in the game, and I hate that for him because it's a game in Little Rock. But also, you want to look better than you did, like say in the Rice game where they were trailing 17-7 in the third quarter. I mean, and Rice is not having a good year now, and UAPB's not had a good year. I mean, I know they're capable, but you want to clamp down on them defensively and get your offense going and be efficient in those kinds of things. And maybe we could see a good bit of Dominic Johnson, A.J. Green, Malik Hornsby, some younger receivers, and certainly a bunch of young DBs in this game.
Tom, I think we can all agree that UAPB is not a great football team, but they are going to come in charged up. And I know there's a connection on Arkansas with Simeon Blair, who thought about actually going to UAPB. I think it was maybe you or Matt or someone was talking about that this week. And I think that they're going to come in with an energy in this first game. And Arkansas, how do they respond to a lesser football team just coming in with that mentality that they've got nothing to lose against the Razorbacks?
Yeah, that'll be one of the big questions in this game because, I mean, what better way for UAPB to get its name out than to put a shock or scare or potentially upset the state school? And, they don't have the depth of roster and the hosses to pull it off for a full game, but I do think they could put a scare into them. They've had a little bit of issue at quarterback. Their starter, the left-handers, completing less than 50%. And, but they do have a decent running game, and they do have a good receiver. So I just think that Arkansas needs to, play its game, and things will take care of themselves.
Does the historical angle on this game, playing an in-state school for the first time since, 1944, is that resonating with people? Does this moment really matter? Because I don't get the sense this week talking with anyone that playing an in-state school, it's just another game. No one's really made a point of that with me this week. What's your feel on that conversation?
I'm kind of iffy on the deal. It's a big deal. Sam Pittman opened up his SEC teleconference appearance with the fact that they hadn't played an in-state team since 44, I believe.
Right.
It was UA Monticello. And I mean, there's something to it. I mean, there's going to be some pageantry and ceremony about it, I think, in the pregame, and it is significant. But I just think that our country and our sport has undergone so many drastic changes in the last 2 or 3 years that we're conditioned to something pretty major having to happen to be moved in a great way. And I mean, between COVID and the social unrest of the last couple of years, it's just been, okay, they're playing UAPB. That's great. Keep the money in state. That's great. And I don't know how many people will be there. I think tickets sold were a little more than 40,000. So it would be nice if 45, 48,000 showed up at the game.
Yeah, and the other note, anytime you go to War Memorial, you wonder how many more will be played there. I guess this is the third to last game currently scheduled. You got 21, you got 23, and I guess A-State and 25. And so you might be seeing one of the last handful of ball games played at War Memorial.
It's been a slow changing of the situation where when the stadiums were of maybe similar size and there was, I guess, more pull. I mean, there's still pull in Central Arkansas, but the coaches, when you talk about having to load up on buses and the advantages it might give your next opponent and all that kind of thing, the coaches have to be careful how they say it and how they couch it. But, Brett Bielema wasn't a big fan of having to do it. You can't recruit. They can't talk to their recruits down there. So in some sense, it's not the same kind of home game. And until that changes, you're going to meet some resistance to schedule there. So there's just been so many things that have gone into the slow erosion of a large number of home games there that, and the fact that, it's not conference games. The Missouri game in 2019 might be one of the last conference games we'll ever see there, if not the last. And they haven't played particularly well in Little Rock in recent years, even though they used to dominate there. So just a lot of factors. And the home stadium, I mean, they've sunk so much into the home stadium, and it's a revenue deal for them that there's a big disparity between the two games.
All right, Arkansas and UA Pine Bluff Saturday at 11 a.m. in War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Sunday they're going to come back to Fayetteville, not the team, but fans will come back, and you got Arkansas opening or somewhat opening the basketball season. You got an exhibition game against East Central. This will not be on radio, TV, streaming. So if you want to see it, you got to show up. A, do you plan to go to this? We have time to go to it. And B, how excited are you at this point for the beginning of Eric Musselman's campaign?
Well, I'm just jacked up because they showed such promise in putting together a different roster that you believe that they'll be able to do the same. Plug in the different elements on the roster, maximize their strengths, minimize weaknesses, find roster combinations you like. And after even after like a red-white game, Eric Musselman comes out with, here are things we have to draw more fouls. We have to get on the free throw line more often. We can't settle for three. I mean, you start bringing that into their heads and preaching it from the very beginning, it becomes a thing. And it's going to be very, very exciting. My wife and I are going to far west Texas on Saturday, starting Saturday night. And so we're going to be gone a few days. So I'll miss the exhibition game, and I'll be out there near Marfa where they see the aliens and whatever happens out there in West Texas.
There you go. Well, Tom, before we let you go, congrats on your Braves. They're up 3-1 in their series. Do they get it done? Are they going to be able to close out the Dodgers, you think, in this, and I guess that would be Game 5?
Hey, Ty, you know me pretty well, but you don't know me well enough. You know I'm not saying a doggone thing. It was 3-1 last year, and I can't believe you even asked me this question.
So not confident, doesn't
He's not jinxing the situation.
Well, best of luck to your Atlanta Braves. I know that there's some fans here in the great state of Arkansas, and they're listening to us right now that would love to see them advance. And just for you, man, I'd like to see them advance too, based on how your Falcons and your Hawks have, well, not necessarily your Hawks, but your Falcons as of late.
Oh, Todd, man, you know what? I appreciate it.
We
got
it,
Max
buddy.
Fried going. We got Max Fried going today. We got through our bullpen game well yesterday. You know, let's see how the Dodgers get through their bullpen game. I've just got my fingers crossed. You know, I'm not gonna hex anything.
All right, buddy. We'll talk on. Well, I guess you'll be on vacation, so we'll talk.
Yeah, call me Monday. Call me Monday. We'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, buddy.
Tom Murphy with us every Monday and Thursday here on the Morning
We're
Run.
back and better than ever. A new web interface to start the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your #1 spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.